Cardi's album released just when we thought things between her and Nicki would not become heated. But were we mistaken, girl? They relentlessly pursued one another on social media, dragging one another for dirt. No holds allowed. The crazy aspect was that it all happened suddenly and without any prior notice. Things were going well one minute, and then we were surrounded by gunfire, making it difficult to avoid getting caught in the center. Yes, these two despise one another, so let us dismantle this mess. So, when Nicki began retweeting stories boasting how she had the best first week sales of any female rapper this decade, we kind of got a feeling that there was going to be some crazy drama on the timeline. She certainly has the right to gloat because she worked hard for this, but other people thought it was a little dodgy. This was due to the fact that despite the fact that Cardi B had not released an album in 7 years, everyone was raving about how great her record performed in the first week. Nicki's retweets captured everyone's attention, while the TL debated if she sold 199,600 or even 200,000 copies. We realized that danger was on the horizon at that point. She retweeted content such as Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday 2, 228,000 remains the biggest first week for a female rap album this decade, and the largest vinyl sales week for a female rap album since 1991. Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday 2 remains the biggest opening on global Spotify and US charts for a female rapper, despite multiple new releases since 2023. Pink Friday 2 by Queen Nicki Minaj still remains the biggest debut for a female R&B album on Spotify. Despite it being the Christmas season, it debuted with 28.2 million first day. Also, Nicki holds 2 of the top 5 biggest Spotify debuts for a female R&B project ever. She has more than earned the right to gloat, as I mentioned, but it was sleazy of her to retweet so much of this while people were applauding Cardi on the success of her album. We were aware that things would get chaotic at that point, but we were unaware of how chaotic they would become. After that, Nicki removed the boxing gloves right away and tweeted, "Barney Dangerous, a BCDEFG, falling off the charts with a big belly, running trains barefoot, still smelly, still you could not outsell me, a BCDEFG, surgery to look like me, tell the rat and tell Jay-Z, Rico, fraud and perjury, a BCDEFG, lied and said mom was tyranny." The use of the alphabet was a clear allusion to Cardi B's song Magnet, which was featured on her album. We will return to it in a moment. It is interesting to note that Cardi used this song to disparage Nicki's protege, which led to a spat between JT and Cardi earlier this year. In any case, Cardi was the target of criticism, but she was not going to let Nicki get away with it. This message that she retweeted stated, "What did Cardi B say in her #1 album? Oh yeah, I musty get notifications and alerts, because everything I do, I hatin' BC at first." Additionally, she tweeted, "Coca-Cola Barbie, the power I have, makes these bees come out of rehab every time. Proceed to your effing chamber. Nothing more annoying than a bored bee. You must have missed me, huh crazy? Now kiss my feet." Damn, she was streaming Magnet hard as hell, huh? Nicki then continued to criticize Cardi, stating, "Raw dogging pregnant with a 4th babe, Barbie BBVHPV." Allegedly, Cardi said, "Coca-Cola Barbie." After this, ABCDEFG. Your man has to snatch pee. Pee tastes like honeycomb. Your bro is touching 12-year-olds. She added, "Why do you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag that you think it is. You've been in the game for like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake, those are the numbers you need to be competing with, and you can't cause you to do lower than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. Why the F are you comparing yourself to me for?" Then she said, "All right, now this the 3rd tweet talking about my pregnancy, like you were going to different fertility doctors because you couldn't reproduce from all them peas scrambling your eggs. Not allegedly. Lord, protect my babies." With her entire breast, Cardi truly came out and stated that a photo of Nicki's brother wearing a pink Barbie wig, exactly the same style as Nicki wears, was then shared on social media. Nicki then responded with a photo of Cardi wearing a Barney suit and another of Jay-Z sobbing while wearing a pink Barbie wig. However, the joke was that the photo was from the notorious altercation between Nicki and Cardi during New York Fashion Week in 2018. You are all aware that it was really petty, and as all of this was happening, JT entered the fray to make fun of Cardi by stating, "LOL, that home ugly and made no celebration. I would have been breakdancing right now if I was #1, but she knew she lied." Fans are somewhat persuaded that we were correct when JT jumped into this so fast and dragged Cardi B last week in an attempt to curry favor with Nicki. Do you know how Nicki used Cardi's song Magnet to make fun of her? In that same song, Cardi made fun of JT for being Nicki's lapdog and still having no accomplishments to show for it. As Cardi said in the song, "You a shady AB. You've been trashed since birth. Mama didn't want you. Brenda's baby AB. Bottom feeder AB. All that D writing still ain't got no feature of B. She just mad she got a N she was sharing bags with. My ninja is cheap, but I don't stick no D's in his behind. You look a hot mess, easily impressed by a B. You never gave looks, you started getting dressed AB. Richo, the only fashion house you know. You should have asked me to take you to the show, Lil B." This was essentially a jab at the fact that, despite JT's hard work for her, Nicki has yet to offer him a feature. JT's boyfriend, Lil Uzi Vert, was the target of the statement about her dude loving her bags, which connected to the speculations that he could be hiding something. Then, hurling insults at Cardi's guy, Stefan, JT attempted to approach her. You see, Stefan was accused of attempting to assay a stylist called Chris Griffith last year. He mentioned it once again in an interview last week, and JT took advantage of the opportunity to criticize Cardi
because of him making a pass at me. It wasn't the that frustrated me the most. What made me most frustrated was the fact that he tried to unalive me after it, when in reality, even though I was drugged, even though I was violated, I never thought that the next step would be my life being threatened because you got turned down. But it's that power complex of wanting what you want when you want it, feeling like you own the things that you pay.
JT, however, jumped on this right away and wrote, "This is effing nuts and sad. Gay men should be protected. I feel like this isn't being taken seriously enough," she added. Cardi B, baby father, a gay man, not because of how he dressed or expressed himself, but because Chris said it out of his mouth. "Justice for Chris. I stand with the gays." She then tagged everyone, including Donald Trump, CNN, and, for some reason, Mexico. The next thing you know, someone tried to make her feel special by posting pictures of Lil Uzi wearing a dress and carrying a feminine purse. JT, however, was not amenable to it and quickly clapped back. She added, "I do not want you to become upset and cuss me out if I show up feeling ill and cranky. It is too much then. I want it since I invited you," Uzi said. "Yes, my man does this, mind his business, works hard, takes care of his family, inspires his generation, and doesn't snatch A. His style is what made him Lil Uzi. We are talking about Chris right now. Focus." When Cardi did shoot back, she did not come away empty-handed. She displayed images of receipts between JT and Uzi, demonstrating the tumultuous nature of their relationship. JT constantly exclaims, "My guy, my man," as if everything is ideal. However, it is evident from the text Cardi provided that things are not nearly as lovely as she portrays them to be. JT wrote in the text, "I don't want to come up there sick and moody, then you get mad and curse me out. Then it's too much." And Uzi replied, "I want to because I invited you, dawg JT." Then replied, "I have to work. Come here. I'll come after we leave Miami if we still like each other." To which Uzi said, "You think I've ever been through this? To be honest, I love this ish. You love me." For some reason, JT decided to clown him, saying, "LMAO, you make me evil. I don't act like this, Uzi." Then dropped a bomb saying, "Are you mad at me yet? But it's just because you are pregnant, so it makes you even more moody." Cardi also shared images of JT complaining about how much it was bothering her, and that Uzi was still in love with his ex-girlfriend Brittany Renner. It was a complete disaster. However, Cardi's caption was the real deal, since she stated, "I want justice for them babies. Your man makes you remove every time. Ask what he told me about how he felt when he wanted to see Britt in that courtroom and she didn't show up, or do I need to play the audio? And don't let me say what he was saying about Roc Nation. Just ungrateful." Rumors circulated at the time that Nicki had set JT up for it, but Cardi essentially put an end to it with her clap back. Furthermore, her declaration of support for Nicki makes it clear where her allegiances lay. However, I am curious about your thoughts on Cardi and Nicki's back and forth. Leave a comment below with your ideas, and then watch this following video.